Utilizing a housing equity model, practitioner's perspective. Good afternoon. I'm Jonathan Tomko with the City of Austin's Neighborhood Housing and Community Development Department. I'm sorry I cannot be there with you today, but I wanted to tell you a little bit about myself before we begin. I've conducted research and analysis on policy impacting affordability in Austin. I work on several collaborative teams across departments. I focus on short and long-range planning strategies, and I have 6 years of experience working in the public sector on housing and community development. I wanted to start with going over a few of Austin's strengths. It's the 6th best city for job seekers. It's been named the 9th best commercial real estate market, the 2nd best real estate market, and one of the top 5 cities poised to become the next Silicon Valley tech hub. I'm sure a lot of people have heard a lot of great things, and these are just a few of the accolades, and it truly is a great place to live and work. But it's important we also look at the threats. Austin is the most economically segregated metro in the U.S., according to the Martin Prosperity Institute. Austin has the 2nd fastest suburban poverty growth rate in the nation, according to Brookings Institute. A family making the median income can no longer qualify for a loan for a median-priced home in Austin, and the number of low-wage jobs is continuing to grow. I want to focus on that first one, especially a quote from the Martin Prosperity Institute, which actually said, "It is not so much the size of the gap between the rich and poor that drives segregation as the ability of the super wealthy to isolate and wall themselves off from the less well-to-do." This is an important consideration, and we'll talk about that a little bit more in our geographic analysis later in the presentation. Assessing the need. The City of Austin is a rapidly growing city, as I mentioned, and it's important that we have the most current data available. The U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development requires an assessment of affordable housing and community development needs, as well as market conditions, to make data-driven, place-based investment decisions. In early 2014, BBC Research and Consulting was contracted by the City of Austin to update the comprehensive housing market study conducted in 2008. The 2014 update grew out of an interest to provide a current assessment of needs in Austin's rapidly changing housing market, as well as to examine the needs on a smaller geographic level. By understanding the geographic context, it was important because it enabled us to develop strategies respective to those geographic places. The zip code geography was selected as most residents are familiar with this scale. In these two maps, you can see how there are more rental units affordable to households with $25,000 or less in income, and more homeownership units affordable to households with $50,000 or less in income in the eastern part of the city, and a shape that is commonly referred to as the Eastern Crescent. We also identified a concentration of publicly subsidized rental housing, with 4 zip codes comprising almost half of the publicly subsidized rental in Austin. The rental shortage in Austin has also been exacerbated by a loss of over 5,000 affordable rental units, particularly around transit, where a household's second largest expense after housing, transportation, has the opportunity to be reduced. This is a sample zip code from the model, and this is actually from our central business district, zip code 78701. So you can see various socioeconomic metrics, as well as gentrification risk, housing affordability, and household transportation costs. The zip code model identified that fewer than half of the city zip codes have 10% of rental housing units affordable to renters earning less than $25,000 per year, which is roughly 30% AMI or MFI. Fewer than half of the city's zip codes have at least 24% of the homeownership units affordable to prospective buyers earning less than $50,000 per year, which is roughly 60% MFI. With regards to the model and policy analysis, it really set us up for goal setting and tracking. By understanding that geographic context, the City of Austin can reevaluate the utilization of its tools and emphasize the development of place-based strategies, such as our density bonus program, which has been evaluated as one of the best effective tools to achieve affordability in high opportunity areas. According to this table on this chart, you can see 67% of the units achieved in our density bonus program are in greater than moderate, high, or very high opportunity areas, while other programs don't achieve as high percentages in those high opportunity areas. And perhaps those programs can be reevaluated and tweaked, or really it's using the right tool in the right places. What's next? The City of Austin is currently rewriting its land development code through Code Next. It's a critical initiative to implement Imagine Austin, the city's 30-year comprehensive plan. Council has also approved a resolution directing staff to look at opportunities to address fair housing within the code rewrite. The City of Austin is also developing its first housing plan, which will include outreach and community discussions about funding mechanisms, potential regulatory changes, and other creative approaches the City of Austin could utilize to achieve housing goals. These goals include maintaining as well as creating affordable housing for a range of incomes throughout the city, which is a vision within the Imagine Austin comprehensive plan. Lessons learned. Understanding the rapidly changing geographic context really matters. Place-based strategies are important and yield better results than a one-size-fits-all approach. And with a clear picture of the need, we can have a conversation about potential tools and strategies, getting to implementation. So I think the housing plan really is that opportunity to start discussing those strategies of how do we get to the goal that we've set forth. And data analysis can also inform other non-housing related projects or initiatives. Just kind of looking at things from an affordability perspective, the housing market study, as well as the zip code analysis, has been instrumental to other city initiatives as well as grant applications. I want to provide you with a few additional resources. This is a link to Austin's housing plan, our reports and publication page, which includes a copy of the 2014 housing market study as well as the zip code appendix. A copy of Imagine Austin is available at that link. And lastly, our affordable housing inventory, which is a publicly facing inventory of all affordable units with current affordability periods in Austin. Thank you for your time, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the conference. And again, I apologize I was not able to be there with you today. If you have any questions, I would be happy to answer them via email. Thank you.